It's time to cozy up on the couch with your friends and family for some fun multiplayer shenanigans. While today's gaming systems feature a bevy of quality online titles, the Nintendo Switch offers a fantastic lineup of games for the whole family. Whether gaming with relatives or inviting friends over, these games offer quality co-op and competitive experiences alike. Nintendo has always had a strong lineup of multiplayer titles, and the Switch is no exception. While players could certainly find dozens of titles to fit the bill, they should start with the best local co-op Switch games. Hello everyone, Geoffrey here with Game Rant. Today we are going to be looking at the best local co-op and split-screen games that you can play on your Nintendo Switch. Let's dive in. Number 10, Overcooked All You Can Eat. Running a kitchen is hard work, and that doesn't really change when the responsibility is shared with friends or family. Overcooked puts up to 4 players in charge of meeting a restaurant's orders, and every chef will need to carry their weight if the collective wants to have any hope of keeping up with the demand. Although a touch repetitive, Overcooked can be cathartic once players properly get into the flow of things. Things can also get really stressful pretty darn quickly, so communication is key to ensuring there's a happy kitchen. Number 9, It Takes Two. Hazelight's It Takes Two was a smash hit right out of the gate, instantly establishing itself as a modern co-op masterpiece. Although it did take a while to make the journey to the Nintendo Switch, the adventure game is now available on the hybrid system, and the port gets the job done. Along with a visual downgrade, the Switch release has some performance issues that are not quite as prevalent as they are on some other platforms. Consequently, this version should really only be prioritized if it is someone's only option. Be that as it may, It Takes Two is still fantastic all around. The story follows a married couple on the verge of divorce who are shrunk down and go on a wild adventure to get back home to their daughter. They must work together to survive this ordeal, and while they share some basic mechanics, each character brings unique strengths to the table. Even with its performance issue, It Takes Two is one of the best two-player Switch games. Number 8, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is an oddly amazing franchise for local co-op Switch games. The Cowabunga Collection is an incredible compilation that contains more than 10 classics, some of which, like Turtles in Time, support co-op. This package is an easy recommendation for fans of the franchise or anyone with a fondness for old school games. Then there is of course Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge, a modern project that harbors back to the licensed gaming golden era. Tribute's title is not only a loving homage to TMNT's storied history, but also one of the best beat-em-ups of recent years. It looks fantastic, plays beautifully, and sounds great. Unsurprisingly, for a series revolving around 4 siblings, Shredder's Revenge supports co-op in a big way. The game allows for 6 players to share the screen, taking up almost all the playable characters. When taken to the limit, things can get a bit overwhelming as levels become flooded with both players and characters, but it is a delightful type of hectic. Although accessible, the combat system is pretty deep for a fairly simple beat-em-up, and there are even more moves revolving around co-op. Number 7, Kirby Star Allies. Nintendo's pink spherical mascot has shined since the SNES days when it comes to simultaneous couch co-op, and this charming rendition on Switch is no different. In a sense, the game takes on the feel of both Kirby and New Super Mario Bros. Up to 4 players can embark on this colorful adventure, which hovers somewhere in between a platformer and a party game. The game stresses the consumption of foes and the fusion of different powers and abilities. These attributes lend themselves to cooperative play, encouraging friends to work together and combine forces against the baddies, bosses, and puzzles in their path. Also, on a side note, it's worth mentioning that Kirby and the Forgotten Lands' campaign can also be played in co-op, with a second player controlling Bandana Waddle Dee. The game is great, and co-op is a nice option, however, Bandana definitely comes across as more of a support figure rather than Kirby's equal. Number 6, Darksiders Genesis. If nothing else, Darksiders cannot be criticized for playing it safe. The series swaps genres with each new experience, and no entry seemed to undergo a more significant shift than with Darksiders Genesis. Rather than a third-person game, this spin-off is a top-down RPG, although it still feels very much like a Darksiders game. This means fast-paced hack-and-slash combat, visually impressive bosses, and a solid selection of unlockable skills. Genesis introduces Strife as a playable character, and the sharpshooter is accompanied by War. In single player, these two can be swapped with the click of a button, granting users the option to go from melee to ranged combat. In co-op, each player assumes control of one horseman, and they can play through the entire campaign together. Number 5. Super Mario Odyssey. Nintendo's flagship franchise has a long history with co-op, and quite a few of Mario's mainline Switch titles embrace the feature. Super Mario Maker 2 and Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury are both good picks for multiplayer, but some people might not be aware that Super Mario Odyssey also supports co-op. Rather than just dropping Luigi into the mix, the 3D Mario game puts the second player in charge of Cappy, a sentient hat that allows Nintendo's legendary mascot to slip into the bodies of his enemies. Although not without some frustrations, Super Mario Odyssey's co-op can offer hours of joy. Due to Mario's moveset being tied to Cappy, players are incentivized to complement each other to unlock their collective potential. Alternatively, Cappy can just spend their time making Mario's life as difficult as possible. Either way, laughs will be had by all. Number 4. Rayman Legends. Originally released way back in 2013, Rayman Legends was one of its decade's best platformers. Featuring colorful visuals, creative levels, tight and fast-paced gameplay, and an awesome soundtrack, the game scores a home run in nearly every area, and it is an easy recommendation for those seeking an engaging single-player package on the Switch. Even if it is not the definitive way to experience the campaign, Ubisoft's project also supports co-op, allowing up to 4 players to take on the roles of Rayman and his friends. Rayman Legends' co-op does not really change all that much in the grand scheme of things, as it is basically amounts to the group running through the standard levels as solo players, albeit with the introduction of a mechanic that allows someone to save their downed partners. However, the core gameplay loop is so strong that it applies seamlessly to co-op. Ubisoft really needs to develop a new Rayman. Let's get on that. Number 3. Snipperclips Cut It Out Together. Snipperclips is a charming puzzle game that feels tailor-made for the Nintendo Switch. Depending on the chosen mode, either up to 2 or 4 players need to work together to solve short but really amusing puzzles. They control paper-esque characters who can have their designs changed, a process that requires coordination between the players. The puzzles largely fit on one screen and are self-contained, making them perfect for quick sessions. While accessible for all ages, Snipperclips encourages creative thinking and outside-of-the-box thinking, to the point that older players are likely to have just as much fun as their younger counterparts. This title is one of the best co-op Switch games for parents searching for something to play with their kids. Number 2. Yoshi's Crafted World. This charming 2D platformer offers a beautiful visual. This aesthetically pleasing plush adventure pits the Yoshis in a papercraft world, featuring a variety of stage choices and enemies. With 2-player co-op, gamers can solve puzzles and collect items together. Yoshi's Crafted World's precious aesthetic invites players of all ages to take part. For those familiar with either Yoshi's Island or classic 2D Mario action with the twist, the puzzles and stage interactions are second to none. Players can also unlock new costumes for their Yoshis to wear, which is always a great time. Number 1. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. This classic 2D platformer is arguably one of the best in the world, as well as one of the best, if not the best, in the entire series. The co-op feature allows players to pick Donkey Kong plus another Kong to assist them in a stage. They can either hop with DK or ride on his back and provide cover fire. The simplicity of options allows even players intimidated by challenging side-scrollers to enjoy the game without committing too much to it. However, the gorgeous visuals, amazing soundtrack, and lengthy campaign will surely invite any player to enter Donkey Kong's latest adventure. Tropical Freeze offers a multitude of worlds, levels, and bonus stages to enjoy and should not be missed by anyone. And there we have it, the best local co-op and split-screen games to play with your friends and family on Nintendo Switch. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video. Be sure to stop by the comment section to let us know which couch co-op games you enjoy playing on Nintendo's hybrid system. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to Game Rant for more top-notch content, and please do like the video and share it around. We'd really appreciate it. You can also head on over to GameRant.com for even more delightful gaming content. Have a truly wonderful and happy day. See you in the next video. Bye bye.